Hello everyone, I'm Top Manhua Review. Hope you enjoy the video. Li Yunxiao arrogantly smiled. 5 fingers retract the earth and return. Body flew towards the monster. Mirror gathered a punch in the air. Like the rotating sun, the immortal golden body, the unmoving royal power. A golden fist struck straight at the muddy beast, turning into blinding light. Illuminating the 4 directions, Li Yunxiao is like a golden war god. A bright light flashed in his eyes, and his fist directly pierced through the demon beast's body. Golden light penetrated through. The mud beast was a tough beast to catch, but before, being suppressed by the people of the Alliance had consumed a lot of demonic power. Life was already powerless, now it was destroyed by Li Yunxiao. He looked at his hands, mumbling, not much different. Li Yunxiao landed on the other side. A group of martial artists seemed to see an existence even more terrifying than the mud beast. Suddenly the captain did not dare to stand near. The golden horse was at its peak. Li Yunxiao looked at their fearful eyes and laughed. Looking at the crowd of people, he said, "It's hard for you to not leave me. I do not remember this kindness. How should I thank you?" Everyone heard the sarcasm in his words. But everyone was helpless. Tiandang smiled awkwardly and said, "You're fine, kid. If anything happens, our deal will be over." Li Yunxiao coldly snorted and said, "I see the people standing on the side watching the show are quite happy." Tiandang smiled faintly and said, "Let's go quickly. If we can find Nam Ho Kim Nguyen. Everyone go, this is not in vain." The crowd said nothing more, bowed their heads and continued to move forward. Everyone has gone through such hardships, I guess they are about to see the light. The whole team suddenly divided into 4 parts. Indigenous forces, business forces, loose martial artists. The last force is Li Yunxiao and Ken Hien. The 2 of them laughed bitterly. Ken Hien gratefully said, "Thank you." Li Yunxiao smiled and said, "It's okay, just a simple words but contain so much." "There are some things that don't need to be said too much," Ken Hien said. "The responsibility on Vanthu is too great. I hope next time I won't risk my life to save Ken Hien like that. Otherwise Ken Hien's heart cannot be at peace." Li Yunxiao smiled and said, "Don't worry, there will be no more danger ahead." How would Vanthu know? Ken Hien felt strange. 2 people talking to each other using normal tone. Everyone heard clearly. Also felt surprised, wanted to hear Li Yunxiao explain. Li Yunxiao smiled and said, "Don't you see that the guild leader is walking confidently in front? When in danger, did they ever come to the fore?" Ken Hien was stunned, then said, "So that's it, everyone understands the meaning, it really makes sense like that." The evil forest was very angry. He let out a loud roar of anger, waved his hand and continued walking quickly, not wanting to listen to Li Yunxiao speak again. The deeper we went into the cave, the more red dots began to appear. Tiu Minhai focused his eyes on the target and said, "There was a hidden fire element ahead. It's really a mineral vein. We've been in Nam Ho City for so long, but did not know that in the dead land there is still hidden such a resource." The more people listened, the more excited they became, and they quickly moved forward, determined not to let the merchants monopolize resources. Coming to the end of Sun Coke, everyone looked down. Under the mountain body was a large hole, emitting a wine carrying the south fire gold star flying up. Everyone was terrified. Under this hole was of course a huge mineral vein. It can be seen that it is no less than the existing mineral veins of Nam Ho Citadel. All the great forces in the heart are suspicious for no reason. Such a large mineral vein. Why did Leifeng Chamber of Commerce release the news? This is not their style of doing things. The Lamb said with some meaning, "We have explored this mineral vein before. At least can be in the top 5 of current mineral veins." The southern fire golden origin located in the mountains ahead was proven to be correct. Tuan Trimin said, "The president should speak directly. Why bring such great benefits out? Don't tell us to learn thunder and wind, we are all adults." The Lamb leisurely said, "I am willing to serve everyone. But if you don't receive the province, then leave it. Go down and see for yourself." Li Yunxiao looked at that cave and said, "There was even a strong wind condensing, although not too strong, but enough to prove this place is not simple. From the perspective of the living fire element, this cave really has the southern fire elemental essence. But," he laughed a few times and said, "I'm afraid there's a persistent demonic beast in here." The faces of the soldiers gathered solemnly. If there really were demonic beasts occupying the area, even if you punish the flower, it won't do anything. A group of people simultaneously looked towards the Lamb. Right now, only he understood the situation. The Lamb smiled and said, "Rest assured, there are absolutely no persistent monsters in here. As for other things, I won't say much. This news is worth a lot of money. If you are willing to spend tens of billions of primeval stones to buy, I will remind you." "Humph, if there are no persistent monsters, then it is absolutely dangerous." Tiandang said, "If things have come to this, there is no reason to retreat." Tiandang's eyes looked at Li Yunxiao and said, "Vanthu, is there any scent?" After speaking, his eyes looked up at Li Yunxiao, his eyes full of deep meaning. Tuan Trimin said, talking to the sect master. Tuan Mo was very surprised. Why didn't he ask someone else? Only asked Vanthu to go with him. Is there something hidden inside? In his heart, the Earth Lord secretly cursed the old fox. Xin Hatong was also separated from Bak Hatong before, I'm afraid they can also guess the trick, he said while thinking, how could there be anything hidden? With Van Thu's intelligence, Bontong naturally trusted him. Tiu Minhai immediately echoed, so that's how it is. So everyone joins forces, the support is even greater. The people of Tan Nuyet Tong also followed the sect master. Everyone worked together, hope that sect master Tan will not hate. The lamb also laughed and said, haha, our Lei Funchang who discovered this place. No merit but also hardship, hope that sect master Dam will also bring us along. The unusual movements of the Tan Dijun attracted everyone's attention. He could not hide it anymore, now he had to go through with it. Can only say embarrassedly, if so, everyone can go in. But whether Van Thu is willing to go or not depends on his intentions. The lamb said, although Li Vantu's strength is not ordinary, but the cultivation of a beauty is limited, if she does not cooperate. Uncle Dozong still doesn't know how to capture his beautiful concubine and start the attack. Said softly, how could that be? Van Thu is a disciple of Bac Dao Tong. I only let my subordinates protect President Ken Hien. Unlike you old fool, dare to let your subordinates act like heroes. Ken Hien was both angry and furious, secretly thinking that he had become a hindrance to Van Thu. Van Thu, you should do as you please. Don't worry about me, don't forget you still have responsibilities on your shoulders. Don't be forced by these petty people. But these words were powerless. Li Yunxiao smiled gently. Look at everyone talking, if Sect Master Tan and everyone are so good to me. I cannot let everyone down. The map of the maze in the cave is indeed on me. He pulled out a shiny, yellow card from his chest in front of everyone. Everyone was terrified. Tan Diaquan's face changed suddenly. I can't believe that Li Vantu would openly say that. But now it's too late. Not only the sect's power. Many loose cultivators also looked on, their faces cold. Unexpected wealth for everyone, even though they are single and poor. But no one wants to let go of the opportunity to take a bite. Anyway, I can persevere all the way here. Except for greed and great ambition. Also a person with real strength and chess mind. Tuan Trimin said, startled, you said that the treasure on your body is the hidden treasure of the Northern County sect that year. Of course in the cave. Tiu Minhai solemnly said, that year, it was rumored that the Northern Hatong Museum had been taken away. There must be a mistake, leaving no trace. At least among them is Namho Kim Nguyen, if before was just empty words. So Tuet cannot save this thing. The evil forest's face changed greatly. Except fear. Plus regret and frustration. Thought it was just a mineral mine. Didn't think it would involve the Northern Hatong Museum. This is huge. If the amazing museum is robbed, if the headquarters finds out, it will be even if you get a huge fortune. It's hard to escape the crime of stupidly revealing information. Thinking about this, he stood up and said, if so, honestly speaking, to explore this maze, we have suffered a lot of casualties. Moreover, there are still many people who are not out yet. He said that obviously wanted to share more. Tiu Minhai felt very happy inside. Say, if the museum is here, it is natural that everyone you meet has a part. Nonsense, Tan Diaquan coldly snorted. This is the museum left by the late Bo Dozong. You also want a bowl of soup. The things of my previous life have nothing to do with you. About the evil forest, you guys should stand aside. The face of the corpse was gloomy and gloomy. Ugly said. The sect master said these words that hurt people's hearts. What is the previous life? Is Uncle Hatong related to you? If yes, that is also your Bac Do Tong seizing the resources of Bac Hatong. Not too much. Did you even take over the treasures they hid? Yes, that's right. Bad forest. You two sects extorted the property of Bac Ha sect. Why can't we win? The army was surprised. I can't believe how brilliant and ambitious Tiu Hai is. Clearly explained like that. For a moment did not know how to respond. Li Vantu at this time laughed. Make everyone unable to touch the thought. Look at him, Bad Forest said. How? I don't know what I said is funny. Please clarify, Vantu. Just point the fuck out. Li Vantu directly opened his mouth and scolded. They are all a greedy bunch. What is this pretend morality? Even though the museum has my name Li Vantu written on it, will you let go not want? The decision of distribution and ownership is not even based on whose fist is bigger. What nonsense. Do you have that much time? Everyone was silent. This is really the truth, but no matter what, it should not be said. It cannot be said that because our strength is strong, we can take it. Who is as straightforward as he is? Even mask not needed. Haha, well said. The evil forest clapped his hands and said, let's not talk about morality. Whoever has the power will be assigned the museum. I agree. The army said, HMPH, if you are not afraid of just give you a bowl of soup. But whether there is a network or not is hard to say. He turned to Li Ventu and said, give me the map. Li Ventu took the treasure and threw it over. A lot of laughter. Down here is definitely extremely dangerous. I advise Sect Master to be careful. The army received the treasure map. Eyes carry vigilance. Look closely once. Authentication no problem. After looking at the map, remember it in your mind. Then in the horrified eyes of everyone. He used his original force to burn the old lady Kim powder. Say, The map I see is enough. Everyone said they wanted to work together. So you must trust me. If you don't believe it, don't follow it. This man, the poor forest immediately opened his mouth, but he said that everything was burned to nothing. It's too late to say anything. Come on, don't waste time. Should work together. Damn, Dia Quan smiled gloomily. He took the lead and flew into the cave. The person who started the collision also went in one by one. Looked at Li Yunxiao and said, Cloud lack 1,000,000,000 careful. Money is an external thing. Don't get into trouble. Li Yunxiao smiled and said, I will pay attention. If we go forward, all of us will enter one after another. Finished entering the cave. Inside the cave is very spacious, not as narrow as people think. The whole passage has many male and female flowers growing everywhere. There are also many dead bodies lying around. In the heart more and more sad thoughts are born. I don't know if I'm the next skeleton or not. After entering this path, can be lost at any time. Li Yunxiao said, it really seems to be the Bisex Museum. This maze is spacious and airy. It definitely consumes a lot of resources. Tianshui Min said, from these sea bones to infer. Very similar to the time when Bak Hatong took out the museum. I don't know if there are any left. Several hundred people continued to pass through the Except for the sound of the road. There is no other sound either. At this moment, Li Yunxiao suddenly stopped. The person next to him did not understand, so he said, how? Go wrong. Li Yunxiao stopped teasing and said, no, absolutely not wrong. Route on the map we remember clearly. But the channel is wrong. What is called wrong channel? Tianshui Min said. Sweat was pouring down his forehead. Li Yunxiao said, in your eastern region there is a martial art. Very interesting, called moving position and changing acupoint. Tianshui Min nodded and said, of course, it's not a high-level martial art. It's to transport the original force, to move the acupuncture points around the body. But what does it have to do with the channel? Li Yunxiao smiled. Say, understand that there is such martial arts. Explanation is also convenient. This channel is like the 8 extraordinary meridians of a human being. Just now a group of people were taken away by the grave changer. What? Tianshui Min's face was full of confusion. Basically don't understand what it means. You said, how can the channel change the position of the acupuncture point? Li Yunxiao said, because this is the way of life. The living channel. Everyone was startled. Tianshui Min was terrified. He coldly laughed and said, Banthu, I know you like mischief. But this joke is not funny at all. Li Yunxiao stopped teasing and said, if you don't believe me, look ahead. Where are they from? Everyone was shocked and turned their heads to look. The front line lost half of its strength. Only 50 people left. This time everyone was terrified. Didn't even notice how the person next to him disappeared. Can Hyan's heart also shivered. Hurriedly grabbed Li Yunxiao's arm. Only now do I feel warm and safe. In my heart I also have a little fear. The whole scripture said, what is this? The group of people who started fighting were nowhere to be seen. How can he be silent? Disappeared before our eyes. Is it his plot? Only he knows the way on the map. Damn, they burned me. Li Yunxiao smiled and said, it's not that serious, don't forget. I also saw that treasure map. Can Hyan waited expectantly. Others looked like they had eaten something bitter. Like seeing the situation before was exploited by him. Li Yunxiao saw their expression of not being able to swallow. Then point and say, the expression has. What is wrong with you guys? I know what he is thinking. Said angrily, the person did not mean to say. I am the only one who can guide you. If you want it, you have to hand over the raw stone. Li Yunxiao was speechless. Has my reputation gotten this bad? He smiled bitterly and said, this passage is actually a magic formation. The person who emits the energy maintains it for tens of thousands of years. The other end must be incomplete. If the mineral veins are broken on all 4 sides, can rely on the starting point to go. But the formation will move continuously. The other end plate is completely useless. Tianshui Min said, so what now? Now grow out the mineral veins. Li Yunxiao said, once the acupoint change technique is performed, can people still go out? Tiu Minhai said, how should this be done? Looking at Yunxiao, he was absolutely not nervous. There must be a solution. Are people with acupuncture points in danger? Li Yunxiao explained. These channels rely on absorbing the male fire element to operate. All energy is poured into the formation. Just feel the vibrational energy in it. Combined with the top of our head. Finding the center of the formation is not difficult. Vibration energy. Fearful the Lamb said. Such weak vibrational energy. People can also detect. Li Yunxiao touched the wall. Said, in the natural air cannot be felt. But the diamond itself is shaking. Affect the energy of male fire and Venus. We'll have some changes. Follow this change. Is the central battleground. Tiu Minhai was secretly startled. Now delicious praise. Banthu is indeed a 7th grade great magic alchemist. Only now did everyone remember another terrifying identity of this young man. 7th level great magician. Thinking back to his terrifying combat power and age, everyone has a feeling of hopelessness and boredom. Such a big difference. Really do not let people live. Li Ventu slowly felt the fire element shaking on all four sides, start to slow down and move forward. At this time, the martial artists did not want to fall behind. All are always holding on tight. Maintenance more than 50 people slowly move forward. Time to drink a cup of tea. The passage suddenly became open. A powerful heat wave is coming. The whole world turned red. Of course it is the South Mars gold state of fluid flow. Here it is, everyone. Stunned by the sight before his eyes. South Mars Venus state is flowing down. Like a canal protecting a city. State of fluid flowing through the center. It is a place of red chaos. To reveal very strong energy. What is inside after all, such silver energy? Must be Namho Kimnimian. This place is filled with fire element. There is also a spirit that transforms into a liquid state. If there are fire element martial artists cultivating the effect will be counterproductive. Li Ventu walked out of the passage. Looking across the river ahead, there is another passage. Of course there is more than one way to get here. Han's divine consciousness swept across the river below, suddenly blocked by an invisible force. Blocked from moving forward at all. Tuan Trimin said, President, you guys have been searching for so long. Have you been here? Talam coldly snorted and said, if he could come to this place. What about Li Yunxiao leading the way? Museum 8, 9, Part 10 is in a mess. Tuan Trimin smiled coldly. Look at the wall around say, but there are many traces of inlay. On this wall, obviously someone has just passed by, except for your Thunder Wine Chamber of Commerce. Is there anyone else? I see the group of people who captured the sector still in the maze. Can't find the way out. Talam's heart was shaken. Looking over the wall there were indeed traces. If it weren't for the fact that the fire element here was too strong, basically unable to leave a mark. His face changed greatly. The emperor was so scared that he lost his voice and said, is it that person, him? He is still alive. Tuan Trimin heard Talam scream in fear. All eyes looked at him. The corpse face stopped teasing and said, it really has something to do with your association. This is of great importance, directly related to whether the museum still exists or not. Please Presidente do not hide it. On Talam's face was uncertainty. In the man of hesitation and endless persuasion, finally the voice was low. The guild has a traitor hiding in it. I never thought I would find him in this central place. Also cross the river to enter. Everyone heard there was a problem. But people refused to say. Also not convenient reluctant. Just don't touch the museum. Tuan Trimin said, if this person goes first, SO proof is no problem. Go up and see the situation. He let go of the person flying into the air. Fly over the red area. Just crossed the river. A serum-like halo appeared. Like a dun is coaxing. Coiled around and rushed towards Tuan Trimin. Tuan Trimin was also a little startled, but he is talented and brave. Naturally will not fear serum attack. His hand spread out. Then hold the folding fan and hit it down. The serum was shaken to pieces, but it did not fall but turned into countless states of fluid floating in the air, then suddenly shot towards Tuan Trimin. Countless rocks vibrate like boiling fireball, temperature and spirit. Shocking shot, felt from afar. Dangerous. Coming face to face with Tuan Trimin. Transformation, unexpected serum. So difficult to play. He shouted softly. Quickly formed to hand seals. Hand seal breaks the fireballs on all sides. The sky was filled with rocks exploding. Tuan Trimin. Escape, also did not fly to central. But the Dharma body transformed, and it flew away. Return, fall to the ground with a solemn look. Said, Brother President, traitor, what is the status of your association? The lamb said with a frown, martial arts master. Normal, how? Tuan Trimin said, covered in stench and blindness, if it's just a normal martial arts master speaking. I'm afraid I fell to my death in the shaking lava. Young master, this place has a lot of cultivation. The tallest person, think of a way to strike out. Is that so? The lamb replied. I want to see it too, right? Is it as terrible as Master Tuan said? Speaking, in the rock there were the sound of explosions and countless vibrations. The lava flew, flying and spinning around. Here, the lamb ordered, directly. He jumped up, his muscles expand, weave through the vibrations. This rock, see before your eyes again hit to another rock, brother lamb. Growl, martial power mobilized. Love broke out, then came a move. Just when Lamb was about to pass. On the other side, suddenly in the red chaos, there was a scream, like strong beast roar, a sound wave attack. Move out, hit Lamb. Beat him until his mouth was full of blood. The red fluid below flows rapidly. High temperature shoots up, condenses again. Several streaks of blood wrapped around Lamb. Seems like cannot save him. Not good, save him, leave Ventu. Shout out loud, don't say a word. This place is dangerous, save Lamb. Save yourself, if we don't work together then. Afraid that no one can leave. Li Ventu shouted loudly in the sky, a sword flashed straight out, sword light contains rules. Triforce, cut down the red serum. Only saw Lamb's face of disbelief. He thought he was seeing things, or, what is Li Ventu plotting, be careful. Say, you, why did you save me? Li Ventu angrily scolded, run away if you are not. Martial venerable savior, I will not save you. Suddenly he felt the force, very strong from the center transmitted. The fiery red figure used the spirit of Miraculous ran forward, his hands continuously forming seals. Li Yunxiao's pupils suddenly contracted. Look closely at the footwork and technique of that figure, panicked cry. The 1,000 miles of illusionary light, Li Yunxiao. Terrifying, a shocking seal. Condensation on lava, the secret to follow the fleeting thoughts of life, like a beautiful woman. Snow trample, shine in all directions. Li Yunxiao was no longer able to care. The next seal of the red figure, his 2 hands suddenly formed a seal, the king of darkness. Seal breaker, 3 ancient scriptures. Radiate bright golden light. Shoot straight in all directions, he knows he himself cannot stop it. This one, when I first invented this move, he considered the rules of space. Blocked all escape routes, but, at this moment he relied on his strong soul power. Great drum climber, displaying the seal of the king of light. Force card to tear the seal, then, the ancient celestial eye teleported out. The king of hell's seal was shattered by the life seal. Unstoppable, martial artists. The other side is gaping, capital. Wait and see Li Yunxiao face a blow. What is that terrible thing? Just discovered. Li Yunxiao has disappeared, the seal of life. Hit them, this earth-shattering blow. Make them like forms. The ant, only the martial arts master, can be prevented. Tianshui Min. Tiu Min Hai and I were both too scared. Everyone immediately understood the situation was wrong. No, don't hold back and join hands to attack. Bad. Lam naturally knows the red figure. What terror. Moreover, in the rain lake, seemed to infer something, directly. Throws out a brick-like metal block. It kept expanding in his hands. Finally released the locked light. Hands back, attack of 2 others. Fly at the same time. Various ways to hit that seal. Vibrating energy covers the entire space. The ephemeral seal was worn away by 3 people. Go a lot of force, finally 1 fall. Down to the ground, although it is just an echo. No one dares to stand near Tianshui Min. No, clearly no way to fight, Lin shouted. Loudly lead the way running straight inside. Channel, but the channel is blocked on all sides. Rapid change, blocked passage. No way out, crowd. Tianshui Min's face changed. They discovered all the passages are broken, all. Quiet down, revealing a look of horror. Threw the figure in the air. Mist, blindness surrounded his body, yet he saw, and clear appearance, but strong momentum. Great and southern fire and metal elements covering makes people feel very pressured. Force. Red figure covered. In the fog, unclear appearance. Suddenly he moved a little. A punch that comes out as fast as the target of attack is not. Tianshui Min's group is hitting the void. Space all around shattered. Figure. Li Yunxiao appeared. His face was about to be full of respect, staring at the body. Image in the mist, suddenly open mouth, said the person, wearing a small shirt. Red figure in the mist. Powerful spirit, red human body. Looking straight at Li Yunxiao, body and mind. Hollow.